A special treat, we've got last week's winner with us. We've got Marco Penge. You look like a very happy man, am I right?
You are indeed. Yeah, over the moon, on cloud nine, really.
What a week for you, sort of life-changing stuff. We've got a few juniors here, so apologies for any noise coming in here. We've got a little bit of moving parts. But we're going to delve into your bag and see what propelled you to victory and what's been helping you play so well. So, Mizuno staff player, right? How long have you been with Mizuno?
I think this is my 4th year now. So yeah, built a really nice relationship with them, and you know, they've been great since day one, really.
Do you know, I mean, I'm going to chat to them about this separately, but as a very high-speed player, so you're the sort of the top 1% of the 1%, right? Is it difficult for them, and there's stuff they have to do differently for your equipment than some of the other players who don't have quite the speed?
I think so. You know, my lofts in my irons are pretty strong. You know, the shafts are kind of hard stepped, kind of a lot of tweaking around. It's quite fine margins to get it right. So yeah, all credit to them for my success, really.
Are you someone who takes a lot of interest in the equipment side? Are you a bit of a gear guy, or you kind of let them get on with it and you just play what you're told?
Kind of let them get on with it. I obviously have my feelings and pretty self-aware of when something's not quite right. But you know, they're the professionals at that, so I kind of stay out of the way and leave them to it.
Good decision. Seems to be working well. Yeah. So we're in an older driver. So in the STX, now this the 230 STX, this had like a slight draw bias to it, was sort of designed to help shape the ball a little bit. What's your thought? How did you end up here out of all the drivers we've tested?
I think it's just, that's the first driver I had with Mizuno, and it's just been great since I've had it, really. Predominantly, I shape the ball predominantly left to right off the tee, slowly trying to draw the ball more. But again, that's another place that's really tough for me with the speed. You know, I'm trying to, with my speed, keeping the spin down with a fade is quite key, because I hit that shot a lot. But then when I've got that in a good place, it's then hard to turn the ball right to left. So it's just finding the balance, really.
So is that why, if you're predominantly left to right off the tee, and that seems to be your stock shot, is that why we've introduced mini driver further down? Is that something you can turn over a little bit easier? Yeah, something
I can turn right to left with ease, yeah. You know, I can move, I can barely hit a cut with that mini driver. It's, you know, it's kind of stock shot moves 10, 15 yards right to left, whereas a stock shot with driver moves 10, 15 yards left to right. So got a nice little balance there between the two, and you know, at times I'd like to be able to draw it with driver, but you know, you can't wish for too much.
Can't have everything, can you? So shaft wise, we're in quite meaty shafts. We're in Ventus, is it Black T? Yeah, it is Black TR 7X, are quite heavy. So again, matching up with your speeds, I guess you need stability here. Do you know stuff? Would you take an interest in kind of how much they're tipped, things like that? Do you know that kind of stuff?
Kind of leave it to the guys. Yeah, leave it to the guys.
But so, just something very, very strong. Grip-wise, you're in a Golf Pride tall velvet.
Couple of layers.
Round, 2 layers of tape. Is that the same throughout the set?
Same throughout, yeah.
Always been the same?
I used to be the multi-compound up until last year. Then my hands were getting torn apart. I think it's multi-compound, the Golf
Bit more cord, yeah, so just a bit rougher.
So I've gone to these just as it's a bit easier on the hands.
When you're practicing a lot, right, yeah. Okay, cool, so down into mini drive now. This area of your bag, I was sort of looking at a bit earlier in the year, and it seems to be the one bit that sort of does chop and change a bit. You might have mini, and I saw you with a more standard 3-wood at one point. I saw you at one tournament with just driver, 1 iron, 2 irons, and no fairway woods at all.
Yeah.
How does that sort of process formulate of, you know, what you're going to put in the bag? Does that change week to week, or do you feel like you're in a settled place now?
I'm in a settled place now. The reason why it used to chop and change a lot is because I'm no good with a 3-wood, to be honest. I've never had kind of confidence in hitting a 3-wood off the tee, so I've been so confident with my 2 iron and my driver, it's kind of been a bit of a hole in my bag in a way. And you know, I did a bit of experimenting with the mini driver, and it's been awesome since I've had it. So yeah, it's filled a really nice gap in the bag. You know, it's in there to draw, basically.
Do you hit it off the deck much, or is it more of a...
Yeah, you're pretty versatile in that way. You can hit different flights with it. The spin rate's really consistent. But like I said, it's mainly in the bag to move the ball right to left when I need to. So I like to hit driver a lot. So yeah, it only really comes out if a hole doesn't suit driver, really.
We were discussing tactics for this week off camera, weren't we?
Yeah.
The word full send was used a couple of times, so we could be there. Same shaft, as in profile, as in driver, just going up in weight into the 8X Ventus Black TR. So again, really stable product. Nothing on the loft sleeve, just playing standard loft at 13.5. Yeah. Cool. Then we go into this 2 iron. I saw a couple of ludicrous shots last week in Denmark with this, driving par 4s with 2 irons over trees. How long has this been in, and what do you love about it? So we've got the fly high in the black finish, hybrid shaft 10TX Ventus Black.
It's yeah, I mean, before I was any good, I'd say it was. I couldn't really keep the ball on the planet in the past. So this was like a big replacement for driver when driver wasn't behaving in my earlier days. Now it's, yeah, you know, I still use it when driver's misbehaving, but it's very, again, can hit different flights with it. I would never go away from having a 2-iron in my bag. It's kind of quite a big asset of mine. And
I saw 173 ball speed off one of those.
I said to my caddy after I hit it, I said, that's all I've got.
Yeah.
And then to see it after on video was pretty cool. It was actually quite cool scrolling down the comments of people.
That was a joke.
Some people saying it can't be 175, blah, blah, blah. But it was, so.
I was watching, I know it is, I'm absolutely certain it is. So moving then into the irons, I think you've got the best looking set of irons in the game today. So you've got the Pro S3s from Mizuno, you've got a nice little bit of custom stamping on the toe. And you said shaft wise, we're in the KBS V10 130 hard stepped as well, right?
Yeah.
Just purely to cope with your speed?
Keep the spin down, yeah. Spin's always been a big issue for me. I actually, funnily enough, last week I tweaked my lofts 2 degrees weaker before the week.
So you're saying they've generally been pretty strong
again
to manage
4 degrees strong.
So you've gone weaker, but you're still strong to standard, if you like.
Yeah, still strong to standard, but yeah, it was quite a bold decision last week to weaken them. But I was seeing things in there that, you know, I was struggling to kind of hit a nice high tower and long iron. In the shorter, you know, pitching wedge 9-iron was tough to take distance out of it. So had a little experiment really last week for kind of next year playing in America. I'm trying to get ready for that really and keep the ball higher into the firmer greens. So yeah.
When you've gone as much as like 3-4 degrees strong, do you notice any difference in the offset? Because obviously when you're taking loft off, you tend to put more offset on. B, you can take bounce off as well. Do you notice any difference in turf interaction, or have they kind of countered that?
I used to use the blades, and that's the reason I went to these, was because of the turf interaction. I was losing the bounce, especially with the stronger setup. Apparently my irons are pretty offset already. I don't really have that's kind of what I see as standard. So I don't notice anything too.
You get used to what you see, don't you? If you've been playing stronger lofts and they've been nudged more offset, you get used to it.
Yeah, these have been awesome. The boys last week obviously did a great job leading into the week and prepped really well.
Who does that come from then when you go, you just decided to weaken them off? Is it you decided, you just saw some stuff and you took them on the trek, or do they monitor that with you?
I think it could be a mix of both, but last week was more me saying to Joe at Mizuno that I said to him, look, I want to do some experimenting with making my lofts weaker. You know, I've improved so much this year in terms of shots that I'm able to hit now. I can grip down it, I can take speed out of it. So I don't have to fight spin as much as I used to. Before, everything used to be a bit flat out and just wasn't quite as good. So I said to him, look, if we could, I want help from the irons to get the ball in the air. I can take fly out of it if I want to. So yeah, we just made the gapping in the bag a lot more consistent really. Kind of 3-4 degrees throughout rather than 3 in some areas and 5-6 degree gap in another area.
Certainly seemed to pay off last week then. Into wedges, so we go into Vokey's SM10s. We've got 50, 56 and 60. So we're in a fairly standard full sole F grind in the 50. We've got the M grind 08 in 56 and the K star grind, which we're seeing a lot of. It looks like it's had a bit of extra work as well. Yeah. What do you like to see in your wedges? And are you someone who kind of chops and changes wedges depending on course? And
yeah, I change the 60 a lot. I use the K star and the A plus, I think it's called.
Yeah, I saw you tossing the A plus out before we came over.
I've had the back worn off a lot out of them both because I play everything pretty open. I'm not one that plays chips like square face, so I like to open the face up. Just find when the ground gets too firm, I kind of get like I could fat it, but not from a leading edge, more from the back of the bounce. Okay. So we've had that worn off. Yeah, and it's been a big improvement in my game.
At what stage do you make the decision? So we're on the practice ground here with a couple of lob wedges in the bag. You're presumably going out to play in a little while. Is it you're going to take them both out and hit a few shots around the greens with each and then, or do you kind of, having played a few of these courses before, you kind of, I guess you've got an idea of what might be in?
Yeah. Excuse me, I have a pretty rough idea from the off really. It's not so much in the pitching, it's all about around the green for me. So, like I said, I play a lot of my chip shots open face. So 56, I kind of turn into a 58, 60 anyway. But as soon as I hit 1 or 2 chips, I kind of know whether I need something grinding down or whether I need the other kind of option.
And that's more turf for you than sand, or do you factor that in as well?
More turf, but sand does come into it. But it depends, again, you know, how often do I think I'm going to be in a bunker around the greens? You know, how often am I going to be hitting off tight fairway? Is it mainly rough? So it's kind of
got to weigh it all
weighing
out,
up
right?
the options of what the priority is.
And shaft-wise in the wedges, so we've got 7.0 Project X in a lob wedge. So a lot of people tend to go softer down the bag when they're taking speed off. Is that just a weight thing for you? Or?
Yeah, I think so. You know, again, I leave the lads to it. That's a wedge shaft in that one. The 50's got my iron shaft in.
So 50's got iron shaft in, the 56 has got a wedge version of the Project X, 7.0 still in terms of flex, and the 60's just got a stock Project X 7.0.
I mean, like I said, I don't know enough about it, or it's kind of like, you know, my clubs would be the last thing to blame in a way. So it's kind of, unless I'm seeing something really strange, it's the majority of the time it's me. So, but yeah, like I said, the bounce on the wedges are the main thing in that area of the game. The irons for me is, you know, the leading edge again, interaction with the turf, loss, spin rates being consistent. I'll probably do a bit of that today with the lads. Was a little bit unsure on last week whether I took too much loft out of it or added too much loft, sorry. I just need them to clarify that for me.
Cool, interesting. And finally, onto putter. So I've seen you dabble in, I love this one, this is a bit of tour sauce.
Yeah.
I saw you've been in some more blade style putters. You switched over to a mallet style putter. So we've got the Scotty Cameron Circle T T5.2, one little alignment line on the leading edge.
Yeah.
What do you love about this? Other than it keeps going in right now.
Yeah, no, I love the top line really. The top line's a big one for me. You know, I was loving the blade. I was using the Super Rat, which is pretty cool. You know, nice, good looking bit of kit, and partied great with the Super Rat, but it had a line on the back and then a dot on top, whereas this has got the line on the top, so it sits flush with my line on the ball. So that's the main reason why I'm using that over the blade at the moment. But I'm one that can chop and change with my putter, more from a comfort standpoint.
And ball-wise, so someone who spins the ball an awful lot, do you try and control that with ball as well?
Again, you know, last year, stronger irons, stronger lofts, was using the left dot. Everything was towards low launch, low spin. Made some technical changes with my coach this year, able to hit more variety of shots. I'm kind of seeing myself go back. You know, now I'm in the 25V, which is similar to the left dot, but not as low launching. And then obviously again with the irons, making them weaker. Everything at the minute is kind of going towards spin. Yeah, so I think that's a good sign for me that I'm doing the right things. But predominantly as a high-speed player, spin is the issue majority of the time. It's just trying to find that balance.
So just for me, you said something earlier about back when I wasn't very good. Yeah. And I've improved. Like, I just want to know for me here. What does that look like? And so you said you've just made some technical changes. Yeah. So presumably some swing mechanic stuff. Yeah. Then you said you're better at hitting partial shots now. Yeah. Is it just like the whole package? How did that come about? Did you sort of assess yourself and go, this isn't it, here's where I need to go?
Yeah, you know, after I had a break, I sat down with my short game coach, who's now teaching me through everything, Alex Buckner. I said to him,
You've mentioned Alex on the pod a couple of times, great short game coach.
Yeah, right? He's awesome. I felt like before this year I was only kind of at 25% of my potential, and something that was really bugging me. You know, I know I can hit grip down shots, I know I can hit knockdown shots, but I couldn't do it consistently under pressure, and that's something that I wasn't going to accept for this year. And we put tons of work in trying to gain them 1% and get good at everything. I don't want to be known to be this guy that just hits it far. I want to be known as an all-round player and that can win anywhere. So that's been the main goal, to be honest. Everything's working towards that. So yeah, just more control, moving the ball left to right, right to left, bring the spin down. Being good with my numbers in, you know, I'm inside 150. I use the stats, Eduardo Molinari for stats. So every week sitting down, going through them, and yeah, it's just a massive work in environment, to be honest. And we spoke about my stats before last week about how inside 150 I don't hit it close enough.
Okay.
My proximity is pretty good, but I don't hit it close enough.
Which I guess is pretty key for you, because the way you drive, you're going to be inside that number a lot.
And then it's the opposite. Outside of 180, I short side myself too much. So we were kind of game plan was kind of like doing the same misses with everything. It wasn't like dispersed, like going further away from the flag as we got further away. So last week we decided from 150 and in to go at the flags, and then outside of 170 to just hit the green or the flat side of the green. That was our plan, and we did that really well last week. And
You're not kidding, yeah.
Yeah, it's just all the work behind the scenes really is paying off, and it's really nice for my team to get that reward as well as me, because without them I wouldn't be where I am today.
Mate, you're becoming one of the most popular players on the tour. People love watching you, people love clipping up your bombs and seeing that. It's been a great season so far, hoping for a really big end to the season, because there's a couple of big events on the horizon maybe.
That's it.
Marco Penge.
We'll see.